Hey, I'm Steve Mignogna here at BluePrint Engines with probably the most fortunate employee of them all. This is Joe Callahan. He is the dyno operator, the guy who actually gets to put every one of the engines built here through its paces. Yes, he plays with horsepower every day. Now, some engine builders will tell you their engines are dyno proven. And that's a term that implies that some collection of parts makes a claimed horsepower number. Well, at BluePrint Engines, every crate engine is dyno tested, which means it goes into one of 5 dynos here at BluePrint for an actual run. You'll get a printout that tells you what your engine made in one of these dynos. Joe, why is it so important to do that with every engine?
Well, it's important to know that the customer is getting what he paid for. He's getting a proven horsepower and torque. In this case, this customer is getting a CTC, which is an engine with the intake, carburetor set, and the timing set in the distributor already.
Okay, now this is a 383 small block Chevy, and we got to remember too that pretty much everything we see here was made either here in this building or in your foundry. The crank, the block, the rods, the heads, the intake manifold, oil pan in some cases. So this is all brand new. Very cool.
We'll go ahead and get her started and let Nieves get the timing set for us and do some polls for you.
Okay, and setting the timing is very important. Let's get that started. You know, a lot of folks don't like to mess with the timing light, and it's kind of a scary process. Every engine that leaves here is preset. The distributor's in place, timing set, ready to go. Now the numbers on this engine, 410 horsepower and 422 foot-pounds, I believe?
Yep.
Okay, those are the numbers to beat. The minimum claimed number.
All right, we're going to turn the monitor so he can watch the RPM.
Okay. Make
sure he's getting the right RPMs to set the distributor at total advance.
Okay. We'll watch the monitor.
It'll pop back on. There we go.
Now this one being a small block Chevy 383 with aluminum heads, where do you set the timing on this one?
Our small block Chevy is pretty happy with 32 to 34 depending on what cam's in it, what version that the customer paid for. This one here does like 32. Was really happy there.
Okay. That's total timing in, all in at what RPM?
That comes in at 4,500 RPM.
Okay.
What that means is the mechanicals and the HEI distributor is fully advanced in the distributor.
Okay. And again, this is a 10-to-1 compression engine, and it runs happily on 91 octane.
Yes, sir.
That sounds good.
Oh yeah, that sounds real good.
Now I got to say, I mean, this dyno cell, all 5 of them are right here in the middle of the assembly floor, literally where everybody here can hear it all day long.
Oh yeah.
They hear this sound 40 to 70 times. What impact does that have on morale?
It has a lot of good morale, especially when you get your LSs on there. A lot of people, big LS fans here. Big block 632, everybody loves hearing those. They get pretty excited when the exhaust falls off the headers and you're running straight headers and it's louder than hell in here.
And this is a super flow dynamometer, and this is the standard of the industry.
Looks like he's done timing it.
Okay. Timing is set. Now we begin with the actual power pulls. Should I close the door?
We're going to do 2 smaller pulls to break in the rings, cam, lifters, everything.
Okay.
And then we'll go for the big power.
Okay. Boy, it's hard to imagine, amazing really, that back in 1955, Ed Cole and the engineers at General Motors came up with this little thing called the 265 V8. And here we are so many years later with a far improved version of the species.
Oh yeah. We're going to start our pull at 25, go up to 45.
Okay. Now the piston rings in these engines are MOLLE-faced, so this is actually part of the break-in process right here.
Yeah, that way we get good seal on everything, and the customer really doesn't have to worry about doing it.
Okay. Remember back in the old days when folks used chrome-faced rings, you had to drive your vehicle at slow speeds for weeks on end. It was really a nuisance, but MOLLE-faced rings really revolutionized the break-in process.
Now we're going to go up to 5.
Okay. Okay. Everything looks fine so far.
Everything's looking good, yep. Up to 57 with this one.
Okay. And what is the red line on this particular package, the 383? About 62, something like that?
62.
62.
This one here with the cam that's in it, it peaks out around 56. That's why we're stopping our pull at 57.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, some folks will build small blocks to go 7,000 RPM, but that party doesn't last long.
No.
You know, a medium RPM engine will live a long, happy life.
Oh yeah, that's a great streetable engine.
Yeah.
Sound like a good pull there.
Yeah. And what do we got?
Right here. Printer off.
All right, 463 foot-pounds of torque and 414 horsepower. And again, every engine that leaves here in a crate comes with a printout just like this. You can either frame this and put it over the mantle or put it in your glove compartment and show your buddies at the drag strip or a cruise night that your engine really made a number. And again, this is not dyno proven, this is dyno tested power here at BluePrint Engines. Now after the pulls, there's still some work to be done, right?
Yep. Nieves is going to go in the room. He's going to listen on the valve train, make sure we don't have any rocker noise, lifter noise. Then he's going to check blow-by. We're going to check, make sure that the rings are broken and have not lined up.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'll shut the engine off. He'll shut the lights off and then do a black light test. We have a dye in our oil to help us make sure that all the seals are working great.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I see the stethoscope, and again, these do have hydraulic roller cams, roller rocker arms, good stuff, and he's confirming proper valve train function.
Yep.
Listening for sounds that you wouldn't want to hear, but you don't, I guess.
And right now he's listening to the valve train. Now he's going to go down and listen to the pistons. Make sure we don't have a piston slap or a rod.
Okay. And I see the headers, dyno headers, which have temperature probes in them. I'm sure that's helpful in.
Oh yeah, that's helping diagnose any problems. I mean, if you get a broken spark plug, you diagnose it that quick on that.
Good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Gotta love that exhaust fan. It sucks them doors shut good.
Make your ears pop. Okay, so he's checking in maybe timing change.
Yep, make sure don't have any bad noises coming from there.
And roughly, how many engines per day will go through these 5 dynos before they ship?
Goal is 12 a day.
12 a day. Per dyno cell?
Per dyno cell, sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
That's times 5, so 50, 70, 60, 60 engines a day on average. So you guys are pretty busy.
Yeah, we're pumping them out. We're getting quite a few Saturdays in. I mean, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Very good problem.
Overtime's a great thing.
Yep. I'm going to turn the monitor so you can see the RPM.
Okay.
Check our blow-by.
Okay.
And what he's going to do, he's going to block off the breathers there and the valve cover.
Okay.
Then he's got a gauge right there. It's facing the other way, so it's easier for him to read. But he'll hook it up and he'll run the RPM up.
Okay. That's a pressure gauge.
Yep, pressure gauge. Make sure that the rings, no ring broke or got a hook rail in there.
Yeah. And of course, blow-by is a measure of ring seal.
Yep.
The less the better, obviously.
Yeah. So he's running the engine up to 3,000 to check for the blow-by.
Okay, 3,000 RPM.
Yep. All right, now the last step here, we'll shut her down. This is going to shut the lights off. We've got a UV light. He's going to check for oil leaks on the block, on the pan rail, intake surface.
Okay. And of course, ultraviolet light will indicate as sort of a pink any kind of oil contamination that gets out of the engine.
Yep, the dye we use in our oil will show up to a pinkish color for him.
And do the engines ship with oil, or they have to be drained for shipping?
We drain them for shipping.
Okay.
Backside, we have guys that they'll drain the engines. They do an inspection on it also. Then packaging will clean them up for our customers. And then.
And the beauty of these engines, of course, is they are brand new castings right from BluePrint, and you guys use the modern one-piece rear main seal, which is, I won't say leak-proof, but darn good compared to the old days with a rope seal and two-piece, and they were almost guaranteed to leave a drop every once in a while.
That's right. And he's checking our front seal area under the balancer, timing cover right now. And he's on the driver's side, checking the rear main.
And as I made my way through the facility, I did see that pretty much every gasket used here is of the synthetic Viton type with the steel core, crust-proof points, and I won't say they're leak-proof, but they're far superior to the old cork days and stuff. But I see that type of gasket used throughout these engines, the high-quality gaskets.
Yep. All right. How'd it look, Davis? Good. All right. Good to go.
All right. Well, good stuff. That's the story of BluePrint engines. Every single engine that comes out of this building will leave with a certificate of success and accomplishment. This is the dyno chart that goes with every engine. And again, there's a difference between dyno proven and dyno tested. You want an engine that's been dyno tested, like every BluePrint engine. To learn more, go to blueprintengines.com and stick around for more Crate Engine Tech with me, Steve Magnanti.